Thank you for having a very open discussion and engaging on so many different topics. So what I prepared for everyone today is a short introduction on how the chemical industry is able to support the automotive industry going forward. And I think the picture on the front page here is a nice maybe a representation that we are all moving together forward, but we keep an eye on the rear view mirror. And keeping an eye on the rear view mirror means keeping an eye on not making the world a worse place than it is today, making sure that whatever technology and strategy we choose moving forward doesn't add CO2 footprint into the world, right? And we started discussing this a little bit today, but I think it's really important to keep that in mind. And us as a chemical company, we feel very much responsible to make sure that our customers can enjoy technologies at the same time that are sustainable for the environment. I just want to introduce the company. BASF is a chemical company, but we also like to say that we are a very strong player in the automotive industry. In fact, we are part of this largest automotive suppliers. We are ranked number 16 among other companies that are very well known, such as Bosch, Denso, Magna, globally a large automotive tier supplier. So about 20% of our sales go into the automotive industry, and we are mainly focused on four key segments. One is the mobile emission catalyst. We also do a lot in lightweight and plastic solutions. We are a major player in automotive coatings and in coolants. And I think all of those solutions somehow have a role to play when we talk about the next generation powertrain. We do not mention yet our battery business here because this is not yet something that is as big as the other segments, but clearly it is the most exciting opportunity that we see for the chemical industry. Lithium-ion battery will offer 25 billion euro business opportunity by 2025 globally. And I don't think we have any other opportunities coming in such a scale. And there we want to be also a major player. Before I go into the kind of solutions that we can offer to the industry to meet the diversity of powertrains going forward, I want to remind everyone what are the key trends affecting car manufacturers and the industry in general. One is design, and when we talk about design, it's not only the colors of the car, but also the kind of materials that is being used as interior. The other one is lightweighting solution, and that goes hand in hand with efficiency and fuel savings, using plastics to replace metal, for example. The other one is, of course, the emission reduction, where the automotive catalyst can play a major role. And I also want to add the alternative powertrain here, the battery materials. So some of the speakers before me talked about energy density, talked about safety, talked about availability of material and CO2 footprint of the value chain. I think all these topics are extremely important, especially when we talk about e-mobility for India. This week, I had the chance to speak at the India Energy Storage Week, where we tackled some of those challenges. Nickel is not available here, lithium, cobalt. So how do we go about supplying the automotive industry in the country with a minimum CO2 footprint and a cost-effective solution? So there, I think it could be the subject of one whole presentation in itself. So how do we go about bringing a lot of our innovations to the market? A lot of it depends on collaboration with customers. And this is exactly what we are trying to do also in India. We partnered with customers like Varroc, for example, to launch some innovative seating solutions, with Ford to replace the entire seat structure into plastic and therefore reducing the weight. We have partnered with Chinese OEMs to launch the next generation of catalyst, the four-way catalyst. And we're also partnering with some innovative car manufacturers on the latest generation for automotive coatings. And all of that has a significant impact on sustainability, reducing CO2 emissions. So jumping right then into the topic, we talk about automotive industry being affected by the pandemic. Yes, for sure, the car production globally has reduced this year. The good news is electric mobility has not really suffered. And if you see in 2020, the number of electric cars sold in the world will be slightly above last year. We also anticipate that the electric car will grow much faster than the rest of the automotive industry. It is a lower base, yes, but we also believe that the pandemic has in fact accelerated the development of e-mobility and the shift towards renewable energy and more attention on environment. So why is that? Simply because the regulations are becoming tighter and tighter, and it's becoming very expensive for car manufacturers to meet those regulations. I took a graph here from McKinsey that shows that car manufacturers have to pay between 1,000 and 2,000 euros on average to meet the latest regulations. In India also, BS6 has had a huge impact on the industry. We look at the norms here for diesel engines in India. Every dimension has been reduced, and today the freedom to operate for those car manufacturers in India is very limited. Emission norms are very tight on particulate matters, carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, hydrocarbon. So how do we really keep meeting those regulations while at the same time being cost effective and offer convenience to our customers? There are roughly 5 kind of platforms available. I guess all of us today on the call know about this. There is the traditional conventional engine, there is the hybrid option, there is the full electric option, and then there is the fuel cell option. And when we just look at it from a very high level, you can see at a glimpse that combustion engine and full electric vehicles offer the simplest architecture. I think there is no doubt about this. When it comes to having a very simple architecture, either a highly efficient conventional engine or a highly efficient full electric vehicle offer the best solution. But I also agree with what the speakers have been saying, that maybe some platforms, some architectures would fit better in certain market segments. For example, long distance driving truck application would go maybe better with fuel cells, while two-wheeler, for example, or some of the three-wheeler would go better with electric mobility, for example. Let me show you how the chemical industry has solutions to support each and every of those powertrain strategies. One is in terms of conventional engine. I think the mobile emission catalyst plays a significant role. And I like the statistic here to show that one car in 1975, which is just 50 years ago, polluted as much as 100 cars today. And tomorrow, when we launch our 4-way catalyst, we are going to increase that to 200 cars. So in the near future, we will see more than 200 cars polluting as much as one car in 1975. And this is really exciting because it means that we are able to meet the regulations. We're able to support the automotive industry with catalyst technology that really help cleaning the emissions. The other area that we are quite happy about is how we support CNG and biofuel engines. We have done this development together with Maruti Suzuki. We have seen a great interest in India for this biofuel technology and CNG. And there also the latest BS6 catalysts are able to meet the requirements both in terms of performance and in terms of cost. It's not only about catalyst. I think conventional engines also benefit from better efficiency and more lightweighting. And here, our engineering plastics and the metal replacement can play a significant role. I will highlight the engine below, which is a small, highly efficient turbocharged engine, where traditionally metal could only be used because of the high temperature involved. And here we successfully developed a new type of engineering plastics to replace piping and air intake manifold and turbocharger components into plastic, therefore making those engines even lighter. So we have, besides solutions for hybrids and conventional engines, also a clear focus on electric mobility. There is a clear development roadmap for battery materials. The entire objective is to increase energy density, reduce cost, and make the battery more effective, more safe. And here I'd like to say that the chemical industry really has a big role to play. You know, the battery is really a small chemical plant. And it will take still a lot of effort to optimize lithium-ion batteries. But I agree with the rest of the panel that we are working towards all-state batteries. It's a matter of time that we can come to that level, and that will really open the door to much higher level of energy density and much more convenience. Fuel cell is also an area that we like to support. Again, in fuel cell, it's all about lightweighting because we have seen the architecture can be quite complex, replacing metal with plastic and ensuring that we meet the chemical contact and requirements there, as well as the high temperature environment in the fuel cell. And we have examples of joint development projects with Mercedes-Benz or with Nuvera Cells here, where we have recently launched very interesting plastic solutions. So last but not least, we like to say that the chemical industry is an enabler for the future of mobility. We are technology agnostic. We do not choose which strategy to follow, but we make sure that we have solutions to support the automotive industry. At the same time, those solutions are sustainable. They do not add CO2 footprint to the environment. And we are very much open-minded and innovation-focused. So I'm happy to partner with car manufacturers and the main players in the Indian automotive industry. Thanks a lot.
BASF. We create chemistry.